Welcome to Facebook for the Blind, your look at the downfall of Western civilization through the best memes we can find each week. Ladies and gentlemen, both and neither, welcome to that time of the week we like to celebrate Facebook for the Blind, a show for the visually and Facebook impaired. I'm your never humble host, Eric Sizemore, joined from the South Canadian coast by our good friend, Quiet Michael.
What?
And coming in from the left coast, Brain Damage.
Yo!
And we are going to have some funny memes for you. But first, a patented, trademark, copyrighted, absolutely essential part of every single show. You know it. You love it. You do. Admit it.
We're number one.
I'm talking about the depressing news. What a loony day. I mean, I was actually missing talking about Tylenol at this point, but apparently Pete Hegseth, at a cost of bajillions of dollars, he and the president called in all the generals and all the king's men and all the king's horses, and they couldn't applaud or smile. They just, like a big room full of generals was fat-shamed and told that they couldn't have beards. And I was trying to figure out why there was a war on beards. And Michael, you're ex-military. Do you know this thing? You can get a beard waiver if you happen to have them shaven bumps, medical
Called
condition.
a shaving profile.
Yeah.
And let me explain to you why he's being racist.
Yes.
So shaving profile is something, it's a very real thing in the Army, and it's for a very real reason. First of all, I'll tell you, I've never met a white person with a shaving profile.
Nope.
I'm not saying to our tens of listeners out there, I am not implying that there has never been a white guy with a shaving profile. I'm saying in my 8 years of active duty service, I never met one. Black people, on the other hand, shaving up to Army standards, which is every single day, and even more if you get stubble more than that, it makes black people, not all black people, but some black people's skin break out really bad. Can get infected. It's a real medical thing. To the point that I've seen sergeants say to privates, you need to get a shaving profile. We don't want to see that. It's painful.
Yeah.
So him saying that they can't have beards, none of them have beards. What they have is, if they have a shaving profile, then it's not that they never shave, it's that they shave at a different pace. So they'll have stubble. So the only thing that it could mean, Sikhs are allowed to wear a beard. To my knowledge, there has never been a Sikh general.
Yeah.
But Sikhs are allowed to wear beards, and there's
So
a really specific reason for that. They speak a dialect that literally nobody else does. So they made an exception for one small group of Sikhs. It's not all Sikhs, it's one small group of Sikhs because we need them as interpreters for national security. The other is black men, and men of color will often have a shaving profile because it's a medical condition. And so what he was saying did not affect any fucking white people in the military at all. It was just racist.
And then he was just saying, we don't want our military to be fat. And he's trying to fat shame these generals. And it's well, and then that just led the rest of the world to go, well, is the commander-in-chief too fat to be the commander-in-chief? Because he's pretty fat. I'm sorry, but
I don't
claim otherwise.
Hegseth. The guy can go kick rocks. Okay, 100%. I will say there are weight standards in the military for a very, very good tactical reason.
Yeah,
in the Army, anyway. As far as I know, there's no weight standards in the Navy.
I just like the Onion's take on it. They were just hungover Hegseth wonders how he ended up in a room full of generals.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that guy is what cocaine looks like if it becomes a fucking person.
Yeah. And speaking of it, the generals just sat there stone-faced in an expression I can only describe as, this really could have been an email. The governor of Oregon was contacted because the Tangerine Tyrant would like to send troops into the war-ravaged streets of Portland, and the governor was just well, there's actually nothing like that. I mean, maybe you saw the farmers market and you thought it was a war, and the president said, "Am I watching things on television that are different from what's happening?" Yes. Clearly, your TV is lying to you, and it is a sign that you are incompetent. So that was, absolutely insane. Meanwhile, he also posted about the Medbeds. Did you guys see the Medbeds conspiracy? Absolutely insane. AI-generated video shows his daughter-in-law, Laura Trump, interviewing him on Fox News, talking about how everyone in America is going to get access to the secret Medbeds. Because you see, QAnon told everyone that there are these beds that you can lie in and they can heal everything. They can make you 17 years old. They can regrow limbs. And the elites have been keeping it to themselves. And there's the president saying, no, everyone's going to get a Medbed card. Every citizen's going to get Medbed treatment. And the president shared it. And I think what happened is that he saw the video, much like he saw the video of war-torn Portland. And he was just like, well, this is real. This video of me and my daughter-in-law that I clearly remember doing this because he is in La La Land. Absolutely insanity. The government's going to shut down at midnight tonight because the boys cannot play together nice and because the White House never had any intention of it. They really think that even though the Republicans control the House, the Senate, the Supreme Court, and the White House, that a government shutdown will somehow get blamed on trans people. I'm not sure. I really don't understand what their scheme is, but they really don't know it. And polling is showing that no, people are fairly smart. I know it's a strange thing to say, but they know whose fault it is again. So that's fascinating. Italy is ending its support for the international flotilla. You might remember that young Greta Thunberg has gone on a flotilla of humanitarian aid to Gaza. I think at one point there were over 40 ships in the flotilla, 500 people, boats all loaded with humanitarian supplies and escorted by the Italian Navy, which is funny because the Italian Prime Minister is a jerk and doesn't like Greta at all. But the military, and I don't understand how the military is controlled over there, but they escorted them the whole way. Meanwhile, I'd like to just tell you about something that I don't think anybody is talking about anywhere. There have been general strikes all across Italy. Rome has been shut down. And the crazy thing is, I saw people being interviewed in traffic, and they were like, well, it's got to happen. It's a good thing. They're like, but aren't you angry that you're late? And they're like, nah, this is important. It's like, Italians are amazing. I was so stunned. But I'll tell you what, I searched all over the news, and I, have special training in how to do that, and this was not a story that was covered. So apparently, somebody in the media really doesn't want you to know that if everyone in the country goes on strike and blocks traffic and shuts down the airlines, that maybe some people in the military will actually lend a hand to the case. That you can actually affect change by doing things as organized citizens. I don't know. They don't want you to know that, so I'm here to help you out. Hey, in good news, France, Nicolas Sarkozy has been given a 5-year prison sentence after a Libyan trial. So Sarkozy now joins Pétain, the Nazi collaborator, as the only 2 French presidents sent to prison. Now, let's do Hillary Rodham Clinton over bombing Libya. I'm just kidding. That'll never happen. But in France is amazing. I mean, presidents really do go to jail, people. I want you to know it does happen all the time. What really blows me away about this show and doing the news is we always used to try and highlight comedy and comedians. And lo and behold, comedy and comedians keep being the center of the news. Have you noticed this? Because I think actually we have an important job. Like, I like to evangelize comedy, and I want to give serious kudos to friend of the show, Mark Maron. Love your muffins, man. Looking forward to Thanksgiving.
We don't say enough about our friend Mark.
We really don't talk enough about Mark. We're getting applause here. Librarians love him. WTF was the first podcast in the Library of Congress. I mean,
I do know that.
Mad props. Anyway, pointed out, that, it's just the big names are there. Really big names, really, really big names, like Bill Burr, former friend of the show. Bill, what do you... David Cross, friend of the show, slammed on them as well for performing at the Riyadh Comedy Festival. I mean, and I also want to give props to I think it was what, Sean Gillis, and also
Shane Gillis.
Shane Gillis. Thank you. And Atsuko Akasuka, who I've seen perform on Zoom. She's brilliant. She's very friendly when you're connected to her. Absolutely awesome.
Wait,
Fantastic
Shane
stuff.
didn't do the show?
No, no, he didn't.
Really?
Yeah, I know. It's my whole A list of comedians has been rearranged now. My brackets are all messed up.
Wow. Yeah.
David Cross is back. Bill Burr's out. The comedy festival, a lot of people passing around these things. Mark Morel, Sam Morrell. Oh my God, I can't even do all the names. But I mean, a lot of people were just like, okay, Kevin Hart. I mean, Kevin Hart's got to pay some bills. I mean, he's having a tough time. He needs that eighth yacht or whatever. But, a lot of people also posting in, some of them though were just on brand. You knew they were going to sell out. So not really like Kevin Hart, not really a shock there. But then lovely posterings with the after poster with all of them beheaded, because they behead people there. Do you know they still own slaves in Saudi Arabia? Yeah, they still own slaves. Let's talk about that. Anyway, I think my favorite thing about this was comedian Gianmarco Sorese, who said, "This is easily the most disappointing thing Louis C.K. has ever done." I'm going out on a limb here, but okay, Gianmarco doesn't hold back. My favorite bit, though, was Mark Maron, who was just saying, how are they going to promote this? From the folks that brought you 9/11.
No shit.
Remember the good times with Jamal Khashoggi, the murdered journalist? Now you can help us whitewash comedy. Whitewash the House of Saud. Whew! Anyway, again, comedians at the center. Showing what's up. We always like to end the news, from Facebook for the Blind with a nice animal story. And look at this. Wild Green Memes for Ecological Teens has posted this wonderful herd of elephants seen deep inside a cave in Mount Elgon, Kenya. They visit the caves and spend hours at a time in pitch dark mining the cave walls for salt to supplement their diet. How funny is that? And the first comment is, they yearn for the mines. Which is a deep cut, apparently. All right, that's fine. And friend of the show, John Prager, has this picture. When your cat is your friend and brings you something? This cat's bringing something, and we see it's shot from a steaming pot above the stove. And he's being very helpful. The cat is being very helpful. He's going to put your present right in your pasta.
Yeah, it's like, I got to do everything.
Yeah. It's okay, boy.
Put a fucking rat in there.
It's okay, Dad. I got you. And that concludes all the news worth talking about for Facebook for the Blind for September 30th. Wow. Next month is October. How crazy is that? 2025. Handing it over to my beautiful co-host, Michael, for a nice, average size round one.
Round one. Here goes my big, long round one.
Oh, my.
When you said October, I almost made the joke. October? Hardly knew her.
Hardly knew her. Wow.
Damn near killed her.
Arkansas really drills that India, doesn't it?
Is that part of it? The last thing? Or is that just like my friends? 30-year-old woman yells at cloud. She says, nothing will make you sound crazier in your day-to-day life than knowing about 4 things the CIA has done and fully admitted to.
Oh my God, George and I talk about this all the time.
Online Beast, friend of the show, Online Beast says, and they say brunettes with dimples can't stabilize the reactor core. Not too long later, Online Beast says, uh-oh. Stepbro.Steve, friend of the show, Stepbro.Steve. We know him.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Steve.
He's retweeted somebody who retweeted vintage.stuff, and they retweeted a picture of Pablo Picasso's bull circa 1946. It's very, very simple drawing of a bull, Pablo Picasso. Somebody whose name has been redacted just says he got his thing out.
Thank you, Captain Obvious.
Victor Pope Jr. at Victor Pope Jr. says, one time I was sexting this girl and she said, I ain't got nothing on but deodorant. And man, that's got to be the least sexiest way to say you naked. I don't know why it's so bad, but it is really bad. James, friend of the show, James, he says, kind of crazy that artificial intelligence needs the entire output of a nuclear reactor, but actual intelligence can run on Twix bars and cocaine, for example. Trash Can Paul, friend of the show, Trash Can Paul, keeping it nasty. He's paired up with Middle Class Fancy, who's the voice of a people. And there's a picture of some pasta with like gravy and I shouldn't call it gravy, pasta, sauce, mushrooms, meat, and they said that it's captioned, "You're telling me this beef was stroking off?"
Oh.
Do you get it, Eric? Because it's like beef stroganoff.
Shut up.
No dogs in the race making their first performance with a picture of Jim Daly swinging a driver, unlit cigarette in his mouth, mullet in full effect with the big bold letters in impact font that say bricked up. And finally,
What?
I think I stole this one from Trash Can. It's got a picture of a chubby kid with a fake wrestling belt like across his chest, on one shoulder. And it says, when someone says they can eat more tacos than you, and the kid is taking a picture of himself and sent a Snapchat that says, heard your bitch ass was talking shit. And that's all I got for round one, kicking it over to Brain.
All right, let's see if we can start this thing off on a wholesome note.
Oh, yes.
We've got let's hope this is true. KQED Arts. That's some educational shit. They post Reading Rainbow is returning to TV with a new host, Michael Threets, also known as Michael the Librarian, a Bay Area librarian immensely popular on TikTok and Instagram. And I hope that's true. And I threw that up there. As you see, this was just posted today or yesterday, 20 hours ago, whatever.
Yeah.
I seen it earlier today.
Bro, look at that. We got Bay Area, Librarian, and Michael. That is all three of our powers combined.
Right. And look, he's got the fro. Well, my shit's got gel in it. It's slick back today. Anyways, it's usually. We're going to move along. NFL Memes has a picture of Peyton Manning holding his head in despair, looking like, oh no. And it says NFL player. This happened last night. Tyreek Hill. Rest up. Hopefully he gets better. It says NFL player literally snaps their leg in half.
Ugh.
NFL fans. Fucking great. There goes my fantasy team. Assholes. Bunch of assholes. Blamuel L. Jackson posts Stone Cold Steve Urkel, and there is a Photoshop picture of Urkel on Stone Cold's body, and it says Laura 316. And Photoshop edits by Sean also says Urkel 316, and just photoshopped Urkel's face onto Stone Cold's body, whereas the last one was kind of AI'd in all the way. This one kind of looks a little Beetlejuice. This was Urkel's head way smaller than Stone Cold's body. And it says, Urkel's 316 says, "Then I do that?" And I did both of those just so I could do WWF old school. Has Stone Cold Steve Austin, but he's all bundled up with a nice sweater and a scarf and some coffee with some foam up top, maybe some whipped cream, a beanie on. He's looking smiley, and it's labeled Stone Cold Steve Autumn.
Nice.
Yep. TMNT Fans Club said, thought this would be the perfect place to post my new tattoo, and it's somebody's hand, and they have the tattoo of each Ninja Turtles mask above their knuckles, and the knuckle is for the face. You got Michelangelo on the pinky, Raphael on the ring finger, Donatello on the middle, and Leonardo calling point. As he should. And here we have Photoshops by Jiffy, and it's Jerry Stinger, and it has Sting's body with the bat in his hand, but it has Jerry Springer's face photoshopped in. Jerry Stinger. Where's TD when you need him?
I think we have different stings in our worlds.
Abandoned Doll. I didn't follow them. They have Indian Hills with the best, always with the best billboards. And it says, our nonsense aren't just funny, they're hill areas. Hill areas. They're
I'm gonna
hilarious.
laugh and Hank Hill at that joke.
Right. Laughter is the best medicine. Has Bert and Ernie. And Bert asks Ernie, you want some ice cream? And Ernie says, sure, Bert. Haha. And this one's gonna end it for me. B-Mo the Prince posted Josiah Lee at Josiah Lee show or something like that. And it says summer's officially over. And it has a picture of Fallout Boy. It's Fallout Boy! Passing it off to you, Eric.
All right, thank you very much. And now into my ostensibly wholesome round one. One of my favorite functions of Facebook has got to be the memories. And today it threw this one up for me. Look at this. 7 years ago, I got to drive Nora Fitton over to perform at Pygmalion with Kyle Kinane. And we just hung out in the green room and drank free booze all night. I'll tell you what, I forgot how much those chairs, those are really comfortable chairs. Look at how cushy those chairs are. Good times. Moving on. Here we got a 2-panel with Jerry Seinfeld being pulled over by the cop, except the cop, Jerry's labeled me trying to get fired. And he's saying, are you sure you saw my posts? You must have caught me after I slowed down. Because for a while there, I was taking a really sick pleasure in the demise of a fellow man. And the cop labeled my boss says, yeah, I saw them. Get back to work. Maybe next month. Hey, Grumpy Cat here in the garden. Says there's only 2 things I don't like. Change and the way things are. I felt this one deeply. Friend of the show, Mia Sai at itsamia.bluesky.social says, sometimes the world gives us beautiful examples of why copy editors are necessary. And I sent this to all my copy editors because I knew they'd appreciate it. Merriam-Webster reposted this. Video shows inmates escape. The convicted killer crab walked between 2 walls and pushed through newly installed razor wire to break out of prison, authorities say. People started posting pictures of killer crabs with knives and stuff. It's like, oh, that's right, man. I forgot. The crabs know how to use the knives. Killer crabs. PJ Harvey, back in 2024, posted this. There are teenagers today using smartphones who don't even remember the real gun emoji. They have never experienced it. Because here we have a chart that shows all the different gun emojis from Apple, Google, Microsoft, Samsung, Facebook, Twitter. And we see back in the day, they used to look like real 6-shooters, you know what I mean? But now they're all like water guns and, laser pistols and, they're all plastic and green looking and stuff, man. And somebody captioned it, never forget what they took from us. And Homo Queer Jew Hobbit says, look how much gun violence this prevented.
Yeah. And little do they know, you can just 3D print those to be real guns these days.
We live in marvelous times.
Pew, 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 pew.
Moving on, 2 Chainz, friend of the show, has posted this picture of a Dunkin' Donuts, and it says, unfortunate sign outage because O is out, so it just says Dunkin' Donuts. So, I mean, I don't know how... I think that's fortunate in my case because I needed the chuckle. The best and worst of Twitter, too, making their first appearance in the show with a post from Cole Deep saying, this is too funny. That friend's comment, though. Cole Deep at Cole Deep ha says, one guy wrote on his Facebook status, last night, even after having 7 drinks, I felt confident to drive, but I acted responsibly and took an Uber. 400 likes, 40 comments, but the very best comment was from his best friend. Where did you go in Uber, bro? Party was in your house. Breaking news from Icon Has Cheeseburger. Remember them? New study reveals humanity is just one coexist bumper sticker away from world peace. Got a picture of a coexist bumper sticker, and it's like, gentlemen, Are you doing your part?
No.
Best and worst of Twitter 2 making their second appearance in the show with a post from Kajal. He has a reposted Matali Perkins who says, I was walking alone yesterday when an unsmiling teen on a bike whizzed by. Our eyes met. He circled back and I couldn't help bracing myself for our encounter. Hey, lady, he said gruffly. 5 ducklings under the culvert ahead. Then he did a wheelie and sped off. Sometimes the wholesome round is actually wholesome, boys.
It always is. It's always holes.
Friend of the show and founding father of Facebook for the Blind, George Cruikshank, has posted this from Fifi Dosh. It says, Modern Country. This song's called Poorly Veiled Bigoted Threat by AI-generated Jeans Butt Brad. 90s Country. Hoochie coo, sugar mama. I'm going to drink 4 beers on a pontoon. 60s Country. I am currently fucking a coal executive's wife, and I am on amphetamines. I suggest you stab a game warden.
That's so true.
Dude, I'm serious, man. Country music. I listen to the older stuff, and it's edgier than you'd imagine, man.
It's awesome.
The Mind of an Introvert, friend of the show, and if you're not following The Mind of an Introvert, I pity you, fool. They have posted it captioned, I grok that. J. Warren Welch writes, many years ago, I had an enlightenment experience where I understood how connected we all are. When the acid wore off, I realized I don't really want to be connected to most of you motherfuckers. And I would like to take the fifth, but also agree with this wholly. Friend of the show, The Laughing Librarian, has a post from Brian McVeigh, who has reposted Michelle Saika, who says, ask my kid what she wanted to do over the long weekend, and she said, go to the big library and then eat a croissant. Flawless itinerary.
It really is.
I know. I was like sitting there going, I need croissants. Anyway, that was from Premium Internet Curation. So if you want to follow them. Best and worst of Twitter 2, Cull Deep making a second appearance in the show with a conversation on Messenger between Marco at equine_dentist saying, what the fuck does this mean? Says he's getting a message that says, stop doing coke with the jokes and come do some cracula with Dracula. Response, what? He says, come do some cracula with Dracula. Stop messaging me. Unlike Marco, I don't care what this means. I prefer to savor the mystery. And finally, captioned, running away has never looked so good. We see a dog in shades with a backpack. Breaking news, local dog too cool for town. Doggo looking for a chill place and even chiller owner to chill with. I love this. Look at that. The Wholesome Round's got an animal closer too. And that has wrapped up my Wholesome Round. Handing it back to you, Michael.
All right, Eric, let's kick off round 2, the ostensibly second round. There we go. Going to kick this off with it's a trilogy of sorts. All from Relatable Insider, friend of the show, Relatable Insider, at Relatable Insider. Relatable Insider says, you ever block someone while they were typing? Fuck you and that sentence. Next up, we have Relatable Insider, friend of the show, Relatable Insider, at Relatable Insider, who says, and just to let everyone know, there will be no food at my funeral. You there to cry, not eat. I'm going to stay focused. Next up, we have Relatable Insider, friend of the show, Relatable Insider, at Relatable Insider, says, since we're grown now, it wasn't my mom saying I couldn't hang out with y'all. It was me. Trash Jones back. We know Trash at J Zucks, who says, lady in the doctor's office waiting room next to me just ripped a huge fart, whispered, this is crazy, and then got up and left. No dogs in the race. Friend of the show, No Dogs in the Race, says, jobs are so clingy. Why do you need to see me 40 hours a week?
Amen. Amen. So say we all.
And finally, for round two, the ostensibly second round, we have Garrett Williams, BFA at Bad Boy Gargar. He says mocktails are awesome because they ask the question, how much could juice cost? That's all I have for round two, the ostensibly second round, kicking it over to Brain.
All right. Let's see if I can get this to work right. Okay. Meme City Entertainment says this one's a 2-panel, and it says never buy a mask. And then on one side it has a man with glasses, and he has a nice fancy mask with some kind of black and yellow design on it. And on the other side you have superstar Jimmy Snuka, Superfly, and it says never buy a mask from a thrift store. And you see that pattern is the exact same as Superfly Jimmy Snuka's shorts. And yeah,
Mm.
don't do that. All right.
Oh my God. Never buy used masks.
Right. And here we have the ducket list, and it says when someone tells you it's too soon to decorate for Halloween, and we just have a bunch of pumpkin memes stacked into what looks to be a middle finger or a dick and balls. I mean, depending on how creative your imagination wants to get, but either way, it's fuck you, right?
Yeah.
All right, and then we have Jessica Hall. I don't know them, but it says cute idea, and it says go ahead and put your Christmas tree up. Just throw a sheet over it for now. And they threw a sheet over their Christmas tree, and it looks like a lit up ghost. And there's gonna be more lit up than just that ghost if you do this. Don't do this. Yeah, it's gonna fucking cause a fire, Michael. Anyways.
Oh. Yeah, that's
Memosaurus-
why I should not be allowed to make decisions about things like that.
Yeah, when the damage guy, well, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I just think lights under a sheet after a while. Anyways.
Even the song says hide it under a bushel. No.
Yeah. What the fuck song is that?
This little light of mine?
What's a bushel?
Bushel is something you never hide your light under.
Yeah, you
Brain.
never hide your light
You let
under
it
a bushel.
shine.
You let it shine.
Haven't you ever watched television? They sing it sometimes in kids stuff.
No. Memosaurus Rex
This little
has...
light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine.
No,
Fuck that little light. Smother that motherfucker in darkness.
Fuck your little light and the bushel it ran in on.
Right.
Jesus Christ.
Here we have an AI picture of two skeletons riding in a muscle car. I hope it's a muscle car. One of them has a nice haircut with a part over it, kind of like that dude in No Country for Old Men. And the other one, like, maybe has a taco bender hat with a hood on, and he's pointing. And it says, "No, I'm not going to post Halloween memes before October." The people, it'd be a lot cooler if you did.
Oh, this is 100%. What's the guy's name? The guy from Texas.
Yeah.
Ted Cruz? No.
No, dude. This is Dazed and Confused. This is from the movie.
Oh my God.
Oh, okay.
I just can't think of his name. All right.
Yeah, Matthew McConaughey.
Matthew McConaughey.
McConaughey. All right. Nice. Thanks.
He says, "You going to the party later?" She goes, "Yeah." He goes, "You gonna need a ride?" But she's driving a car, and she goes, "No." And he goes, "Be a lot cooler if you did."
Thank you for that context, because I had no idea. And I just like this shit because I wanted to fucking post Halloween shit already.
That's fantastic.
I'm glad it all worked out. All right. Wicked Memes has a picture of a baby with his big ass eyeballs looking down and drinking what seems to be a milkshake of some sort, maybe a frappe or something. And it says, when you're riding with your dad and you see your name pop up in the Amber Alert.
Oh,
and
shit.
Yeah. Funny story is I had to be 17 years old when I realized that I was probably someone kidnapped as a so it just worked out like this. I guess moms and pops was beefing, and he just woke me up in the middle of the night and said, "Boy, you like Go Frisco?" I didn't realize that mom woke up the next day like, where the fuck is my kid?
Oh,
All right.
no.
Had to apologize later. I mean, not that I kidnapped myself, but it all worked out in the end. They got back together. It was a little bit of origin
That was a
story.
twist.
Yeah. I like that kid's eyeballs though. That eyeball is that's the way he's like, oh shit, son. Is that my name there? Anyways, Greg Jacobs says, good morning, everybody. And here we have Space Ghost Coast to Coast, but they have Ghostface Killer's face with a Wu-Tang symbol on it, and it's labeled Space Ghostface Killer. And that was just cool as fuck to me. And then we have Toons Club with Daffy Duck, and it says, hey, correct. Quit tampering with my curse words, you mother forklift. And it's ironic that it's a duck, because no, I never say what the duck autocorrect. I've never once asked what the duck. Hilarious comedian from the Bay Area, Jose Contreras, put, unpopular opinion. The way y'all been acting in this country all year, you motherfuckers don't deserve a Super Bowl halftime show in English. Keep it up. In 2027, about to be K-pop the fuck out your TV screen with subtitles. Yeah. If they're mad about Bad Bunny, they're gonna be. I don't like Bad Bunny or K-pop, so knock it the fuck off, people. Yeah. And I think this one's it for my round 3. Laughter is the best medicine. And this and that posted, little boy tells his nursery teacher that he found a dead cat. How did you know it was dead? Asked the teacher. Because I pissed in its ear and it didn't move, says the boy. You did what? Shrieks the teacher. Explains the boy. I leaned over and went, pss, pss, pss. It didn't move.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Good save.
And I gotta go, so I'm gonna pull a mic on my post at the Moses. Oh my God. I went to the fucking Comedy Store. Yeah, I did it. I rocked that motherfucker. I was up there and I flipped everybody off. I only flipped off the cameraman because he asked me to. And I got my hand raised. I won my battle. Thank you, Tim, man. Brian Moses, the Comedy Store. This shit was dope as fuck. It was a cool ass trip. Thank you to my awesome wife and beautiful. She put the shit together. So I said I got a chance to go to the Comedy Store. She made it fucking happen. I wish I could stick around, but I do have to go get her from work. I love you guys. I love you, George, even though I don't know you. I love you,
congratulations, Brain. That's fucking huge, dude.
Yeah. Thank you.
Love you, buddy.
Fucking great. Happy for both of you. It sounds like it was a good trip. Love you.
Yeah, well, it really was. It really was. I got to go back very soon.
Nice.
We're happy for you, man. That's so fucking killer.
Very much.
Right on. I appreciate you.
Yeah, man.
All right. I guess I'm moving into my allegedly ostensible round.
Ostensibly second round.
Thank you for seconding my definition of the round. Friend of the show, Jason, has this conversation. Says, is this Jason, husband of Brandy? I am Jason, but not husband of Brandy. Who is this? My name is David. I am sorting out my contacts. Good luck, David, friend of Jason, husband of Brandy. Long may you reign.
That's stupid.
Friend of the show, Jackie Cation, says, for the Epsteinth time, Tylenol doesn't cause autism.
Yeah, that should be a new thing.
I'm really concerned about the whole Epstein class. It seems like they've got lots of problems, and maybe we should round them up. That's just my thought. Get them the help they need. I was posting a lot of this. The Liberal Agenda has the blue Mark Safe flag. Mark Safe from taking medical advice from someone who can't pronounce acetaminophen today. The other 98% posted this one that says, hey, if you think Tylenol is bad for children, wait until you find out about guns.
Oh my, yes, come on, preach.
Oh, that's pretty astounding. Here's a picture of an escalator, and it's captioned, we are Antifa. There was so much of this. The escalator jokes were escalating, you might say. South Dakota Department of Propaganda posted this one. It's an escalator, and says, this escalator stops for fascists. Also liked it. Pretty good. Here we have the Gadsden flag with an elevator on it and says, don't tread on me. Also from South Dakota Department of Propaganda. Brian Tyler Cohen, friend of the show, had posted this one. Says Trump was telling pregnant women to tough it out yesterday without Tylenol, and he's out here complaining about climbing one flight of stairs. Which is just, wow, unbelievable. Here we have a picture of Jimmy Kimmel in the pose, raising his fist in the air, being guarded by his Secret Service of Stephen Colbert, who's smiling, Seth Meyers behind him, and Guillermo flicking off the cameraman, which I was posting triumphantly on lots of MAGA sites, and they love this. You should copy your screen right now and post this to all your MAGA friends. They absolutely love it. John Prager posts this, says it's completely true and it makes you wonder. It's a picture of Jimmy Kimmel and Charlie Kirk. It says, one of these men is modern-day Jesus, and Jimmy returned in 3 days. Charlie didn't. It's funnier in my head. Best and worst of Twitter, too, has a post from Aaron Hunter, who is posting while laughing in Spanish. We have the angry Chad in the MAGA hat, making the gritted teeth move here. This is posted from Sean. 3 panels. So, and the big red hand that is labeled Fox News and X and Breitbart is reaching over to angry Chad. And he reaches in and pulls out the Jimmy Kimmel chip and sticks in the Bad Bunny chip. Click. Scott Greer has posted, if you like Bad Bunny, you are not an American. Which is just killing me. How many MAGA types, even after the paper towels incident, still don't know Puerto Rico is America? Sorry, makes me mad. Here is a classic, man. This is from back in the COVID era. I thought it was absolutely fantastic, but it's just a beautiful cat, little white socks, black and white cat, standing in front of a microphone, doing a great little, stand-up comedy bit. He's going, what else? COVID vaccine. You heard about this? Some people think the government's going to use it to chip them. Buddy, I've been chipped my whole life. Nobody checks that thing. And you move less than I do. What are they going to track? Your walk to the fridge? Oh, God. I wish cats could roast. That would be so funny. All right, moving on. Here we have a post from Matt Mason, Ministry of Memes. It says, acetaminophen is easy to pronounce. The ending is like minnow-fin. And aceta sounds a lot like acida, as in acida Epstein files still haven't been released. Steve comments, I think he might have dropped him in the escalator. That's why I got stuck. Breaking, Trump administration declares ketamine is a vegetable. Everybody's good. Isn't that funny? You can say ketamine just fine. Friend of the show and founding Zaddy, George H. Cruikshank,
No, sir.
has posted this, I think from C-SPAN. I mean, it looks like C-SPAN. Senator Raymond Sutter here, R of Arizona, is saying, incomprehensible shouting has been named the official U.S. language. So in honor of that, here we have a picture of RFK, and he says, throw out that Tylenol. There's nothing more natural than a mother and her unborn baby sharing pure, uncut heroin. First commenter saying, holy shit. And I'm thinking, oh, I think you might think that he actually said that. Because it's close. Because it sounds like something he would say. Don't know if you followed this, but Thomas Massey was chastised by Representative Clay Higgins, who's a real winner. He basically said that the Oversight Committee conducting an official investigation into Epstein-related matters would bring, I'm trying to remember the exact wording, injure the Republican Party. Ron says, Clay is worried that releasing the Epstein files will injure the Republican Party, which I thought...
Unbelievable.
Which I thought was great because we have the classic 2-panel with the goose, and it says, why would releasing the Epstein's list injure the Republican Party? And he's chasing after the guy. Why would the party be injured, Clay?
Yeah.
Quack, quack, quack. And finally, for the allegedly second round, friend of the show, George Hussein Cruikshank, has posted this post from Secular Talk, Kyle Kulinski, who's got a Chad sitting in the cuck chair looking at Trump and another man. It says, MAGA voter who can't pay rent watching Trump give $20 billion to Argentina. Trump's just going, are you sure? And cuck's going, yeah. Because sometimes it really do be like that. God, I couldn't believe the Argentina thing. Absolutely insane.
No dogs in the races back, Eric. This time kicking off round 3, the penultimate round.
Woof, woof,
There's
dog.
there's a picture of a beautiful sky over the ocean. It says, I don't need therapy. I need someone to try and rob me at a corner store so I can get it all out. I will say I ran this meme by a couple of people. What I noticed were that guys immediately understood that this is saying that you need to fight a stranger. You need a reason to fight a stranger. The women I showed it to thought that I was somehow saying that the meme is somehow saying that if someone tries to rob them at a corner store, they're gonna like tell the robber all their problems. I was like, I've been robbed a couple times. Like when you're being robbed, your problem is that you're being robbed. Like
Yeah,
it's not, no dogs in the race has Frank Zeppo,
Oh.
who says this is Walt Disney's father in a Walt Disney biopic. Okay, this is Walt Disney's father in a Walt Disney biopic. And the father says, "You will never have a land or a world."
What?
Because Disney goes on to have Disneyland and Disney World, Eric. What distracted you on that one? What got you? Halfway through the meme, I saw it.
I have ADD, so I don't know. My hair.
A wind, one of those indoor winds.
Stiff breeze.
Mike F at Deputy Warlock says cops are always like, "Can you tell me why you were going 90 in a 55?" And you have to explain to them that it literally gets you there way faster. Just goes to show the guys who fail at math end up as cops. Here's a picture of a cowboy, and he's leaning on a fence, and he's got on his cowboy hat, and it looks like sunrise. There's a beautiful tree, and looks like big ass buck off in the distance. And it's captioned, "How it feels to roll up the garage door at sunrise just before cranking the mower."
Oh, I do know this guy. Yep.
I don't know where I got this one from, but it says it's a picture of a BLT, and it says, "Sometimes all you need in life is a BLT. B, quit your job."
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it.
Eric, why don't you read this one for me?
We have here a Venn diagram in blue and yellow, and in blue it's labeled crack dealers, and in yellow it's Sisyphus. In the overlapping zone it says pushing that rock.
I really like this joke.
You love Sisyphus jokes. You love Sisyphusian jokes.
You know, what am I going to say?
Yeah.
What are you going to do? I have to actually move the panel so I can see this one. All right, here we have Trash Can Paul. He's listening to Leonard Skinner, Sweet Home Alabama, and he wants us to know that. And this also was retweeted by Shithead Steve, who didn't make the show, but he did ride Trash Can's coattails on this meme. Here we have a picture of Anakin at 22, and he's next to Luke at 22. This is a comparison of sorts, if you will. Anakin at 22, married, future father, general in Army of Republic. It says something Jedi Council, the strongest Jedi. Okay?
Right.
Luke at 22, we just have one thing, and it says kissed his own sister.
Dude,
Luke.
He wanted to go to town for power converters.
Yeah. Luke at Lauk_Newman says men should be more in touch with their emotions. All 4 of them. Rage, yearning for the outdoors, being suspicious of things, and gay thoughts. It's the 4 emotions of men.
Oh my God.
Donald Boat at Laserboat999 says texting girlfriend, quote, "all quiet on the menstrual front," end quote, and immediately getting jaw blown apart by sniper on an adjacent apartment building. Oh, and finally, for round 3, the penultimate round, leaving only my post with the most, we have Marxist Lynchist at DKL Marxist. who says, my most right-wing opinion is the FBI windbreakers are kind of tough, and I would rock one. And that's all I have for round 3, the penultimate round, leaving only my post with the most. Back to you, Eric Sizemore.
That is nice. That is so
Eric, weightless.
interesting. No one's ever gone there before. That's fun.
Weightless, Sizemore. No? Nobody's ever?
Sizeless in 3rd grade. That was about as innovative as it got, and then it just sort of petered out. Oh, I meant to block out my good friend Rachel here. Rachel got a birthday present and thanked everybody in those big Facebook things where you thank everybody, for wishing them a birthday. And somebody sent her a United Federation of Planets flag.
Sick.
Look at that grin. That is just, man, if you're looking for something to just, hey, guess what? I know we can't get it all together down here on Earth, but can you imagine if we could join the United Federation of Planets? How cool would that be? Warm fuzzies. Friend of the show, Jackie Cation, has posted this one. Says, the devil's aversion to holy water is a light matter compared with a despot's dread of a newspaper that laughs. Mark Twain wrote that. Sorry. I guess that's just truth about comedy. Moving on. Best and worst of Twitter 2 making another appearance in the show with a post from James Madwack reposting Mike Primavera at Primawesome. Says, just told a guy talking on his phone in the library to shut the fuck up, and everybody applauded me. So I told them to shut the fuck up too.
That's awesome.
Here we have Baby Yoda drinking a coffee, and he says, I apologize for sharing posts with swear words, but sometimes it's Sofa King funny. This is the Sofa King. Yeah, I think I found this on a post about J.D. Vance. Sofa King. Anyway, here's a picture of RFK, and it says, those shirts that say I'm was stupid? That's me. I'm that person. I'm stupid. I think my buddy Ben made this, and it's the best thing he's ever done. Friend of the show, George, has posted this one. Boy, this has to be the worst publicity Tylenol has ever had, and I'm not even going to check. I was like, oh, that's right, in history. That's funny. Samantha Chase has a post about Monday Musings, has reposted Courtney Montgomery at really anxious. She says, the good Lord knew I'd be too powerful if I had wealth and mental stability, so he gave me neither and threw in acid reflux. Here we have a picture of Bill Murray from Groundhog Day, and he says, well, it's Rapture Day again. Dude, how many of your friends just said no man shall know the day, Michael? Because if you read the book, you don't get taken in by these twits, and it just happens all the time.
I actually have never understood that. When I was a kid, they preached it like that. They would just straight up say, people will try to tell you it's going to be today or tomorrow or next week, and you need to know when they say that, they're definitely wrong.
Yeah, they're always wrong.
But I want to be really careful here to say I don't subscribe to anything related to this, but yeah, if you subscribe to rapture theology, then I don't see how you get around no man will know the day or the hour.
It's really clear. It's one of the least ambiguous passages there. It's like a legal gotcha. It's hey, dude, some of the most important information ever. This is the rule for people I can completely ignore. Thank you. I need more of those. Sorry. Good book says I can ignore you totally.
I actually haven't spent a whole lot of time studying the book of Apocalypse or Revelation or that book. But I actually think it goes even further. And it'll say people will come and tell you hey, look, it's going to happen at this time. Come here and you'll be in this place and it'll happen. And you shouldn't listen to them. They don't know. For no man will know the day or the hour. It's overly clear. The writer definitely wanted to, drive that point into the ground. So really.
Another fun thing. You got a concordance in your Bible. I know you do. The word rapture, not in there. Moving on.
I know this. Yeah.
Occupied Democrat says this post, and Ron White at Ronster89 says, what job used to be highly respected but is now a joke? And Mighty Keefe says, President of the United States.
Yes.
It's like, yeah, that is a word that has lost a lot of meaning. I remember when impeach was bad too. Remember when impeach was horrible, impeaching. Moving on, The Onion has a picture of a very mean-looking man scowling from behind the podium, and it says, "Talk of fascism is dangerous," warns the Ministry of Compliance. Just throwing that out there. And finally, leaving all but my post with the most, Matt Mason, Ministry of Memes, has a post from the Kingfisher at Artificial One Girl. Says, "I lied and told this hiring manager I'd already sent him my CV, and he lied and told me he'd already seen it, and it looked great." Good times. It's the apocalypse. Who cares? Lie to my CV. Not even sweating it.
All right, here we go. It's post with the most time, and then we're going to get the fuck out of here. David Hughes. This week, my post with the most comes from David Hughes at David8Hughes, who said, "Apart from my actions, what the hell did I do to deserve this?" That was my post with the most. What'd you have this week, Eric?
Oh, David, I love it. I love it. Hey, I got to repeat. This thing is still racking up the hits. It is Principal Skinner from The Simpsons wearing the red MAGA hat and saying, "Am I the fascist? No, it is the anti-fascists who are fascists." Just spot on, man. Absolutely nailed it. And that, I think, really sums up everything worth doing. Everything we all talked about for the last week. For Facebook for the Blind. Thank you all our dozens of listeners. We love you. Mwah.
Love you, George.
Ooh, love you, Beverly.
Woo! Thanks for listening to an episode of Facebook for the Blind. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.